Good afternoon, everyone. As you all know, my name is Tamari Viriri. I'm making this video after so many of my clients have sent me some emails, some messages, inquiring about what it means to have new permits as has been proposed by the government. Basically, some of the issues that are just coming out were issues of maybe some hidden obligations, so to speak, largely trust issues. So I'm here just to demystify some of the issues, also try to give a practical explanation. Offer letters are going to be changed, and parties are going to get new permits with serial numbers, and farmers have been requested to submit, they're going to be called upon to come and submit their offer letter so that they get the new permit. So really there isn't any hidden agenda on the part of government. For my end, I think it's a new improvement, a new development. The good thing about it, the whole thing is once you have permits that have got serial numbers, I'm sure it will be difficult for one to have a fake document, so to speak, because it can be traced, as opposed to the current situation where there are several offer letters on the streets, and especially some that date back to some periods. There are some strange offer letters that are in the streets right now. So I think the serialization will assist in that regard. Then also, the second thing that's also to our advantage and that we should embrace with the coming in of the new serialized permits is the issue that when the Ministry of Lands is now generating the new permits, they are making sure that spouses are included on the permits, as opposed to the current situation where the majority offer letter holders, or the name that is appearing on the offer letters is that of one spouse at the exclusion of the other. And this is mainly the male counterparts who have their names written on the offer letters. So this is an opportunity as well for all spouses to ensure that their names are included on the permits. And the advantage of having your name written on the permit is that it's does away with the issue of one party who has his name on the permit having the prior right to buy the other party whose name is not on the permit. So once your names are both on the permit, it means it has to be a negotiation between the two of you, or otherwise there has to be an equal subdivision of the land, as opposed to the current policy position to say that he who has his name on the offer letter or on the tenure document is the one who can buy the other one out. So here's a chance, an opportunity to us ladies and to some men who do not have their names on the offer letters. It's an opportunity for you to rectify that. Also, the good thing about having all names appearing on these permits, it means, you remember, we have the one family policy. So what it means is that once everyone's name, spousal names, have been entered on an offer letter, two spouses or a pair of spouses cannot have more than one farm, because that then will be detected in the computers. So we are sincerely hoping that these permits are generated by computers, and that once your name has been captured, it cannot be captured twice. So this will certainly deal with the issue of multiple farm ownership. And then we have, in terms of the permit, when you read the conditions that are also on the permit, it talks about compensation to farm owners or farm occupiers that may be affected by urban expansion. The good thing about the provision under the current permits is that it is clear, or rather it's making it mandatory for the government to give the affected farmers alternative land. It's saying they'll be paid compensation and alternative land, as opposed to the current situation where some farmers are displaced from their places and it is not clear who's supposed to compensate them. For example, some would say it's the Ministry of Local Government that's supposed to compensate, and then the ministry will be talking about the developer. So at the end of the day, it's a long story with no solution. And also, the affected parties, it wasn't definite that they're supposed to get alternative land. So now that it is clear, because the wording of that paragraph says they get compensation and alternative land. So we should applaud the government for that position, though we're not sure if the government has that capacity to relocate such affected farmers in their numbers. But certainly it's a good position going forward. And then we also have a condition that has been set in that permit, which is requiring farmers to submit their 5-year plans. This has always been there as a policy position, but I think putting it on the tenure document makes it mandatory, and it ensures that farmers do submit their 5-year plans. This will cultivate a culture, a business-like culture in the minds of farmers, so that we know that, especially for A2 farmers who get these offer letters, these farms were given to us as a business model, so that we produce for the country, we produce for ourselves, we produce for export. It's a business setup. So once you have these 5-year plans being made mandatory and put on the permit, it means a farmer has an obligation to ensure that their plans are surrendered, they are reviewed from time to time, and making sure that you comply with your set goals. And if you fail to comply with your set goals, I'm sure there's room for you to adjust your 5-year plans. But the idea is that it forces you to think ahead. It forces you to plan ahead. So I think this is a plausible position that the government has taken. And it will also assist farmers in the event that you may want to request for compensation, supposedly the farmer minor issues. The 5-year plan will indicate your projections that you had. And you can also claim issues to do with your legitimate expectations, what it is that you're envisaging, how far you had gone in initiating those developments. So it is key to have all your plans on record in the event that you need a compensation with regards to the farmer minor relationship. So for today, so that my video is not too long, I'll end here. So these are the positives that I've picked up from the current permit setup. You watch the next video for the other areas that we are hoping for improvement from government, and we hope we'll get a platform to air these views and also participate in the policy making process, and indirectly or directly, so that the government at least is aware of people's concerns, and if there's need to bring reassurance, I think we'll use some of these platforms to gain that recognition. So I wish you all the best, and watch the next video for the insights.